Today we have with us someone who has been with Srishti practically from the very beginning. Her name is Kumkum, and I'm going to let her tell her own story. Tell us about when it all started in that galaxy many eons ago.
The way it started was I was in a shop. I didn't know about Srishti's existence that time. This is 1998. I was in a shop called Industry that was run by our founding member Poonam. And I was with a friend. I was talking to my friend about something. Suddenly this lady taps on my shoulder and says, "Are you a designer?" I said, "Yes, I am, but how do you know?" She said, "Oh, I overheard you were talking about something." And she said, "Okay, where did you study?" I said, "I've done one master's from ITC, one master's from Cranbrook." "Okay, come and teach." That was her, like a command, that you have to come and teach. I was a budding professional and I hadn't really thought of teaching at all. And honestly, it just wasn't on my horizon. I didn't ever consider teaching, but something about Poonam just made me want to go and look at Srishti. And that's what I did. I just, one fine day, just went up to Srishti, met Geeta, met Poonam again. And I said, okay, maybe I can teach just one course a semester. And that's how it all started. I had just about 6 students as my first communication design batch. And if you wish to make a comparison, from 6 students in my first communication design batch to having 280 students now. So that's the progression, that's the growth.
Okay, between 1998 and now, in 2022, what do you do now at Srishti?
Making sure that the curriculum is delivered as planned.
With this changeover, with this merger with Mahe, right, this big education conglomerate, what are the changes you see coming, and how is this marriage going to play out?
We can only guess, really. We don't know how that is going to pan out. We hope that we don't have to make any big changes to our curriculum. We don't have to make any major changes or alterations to the way we interact with students and the way our timetable is set. But as long as the core remains what Srishti has always been, it should be fine. It should be all right. Yeah.
In your opinion, is there a SMI, a Srishti way of learning and doing things that is unique to us, or is it like any other design school?
I think this whole idea of choice-based navigation, we were the first ones. I had never seen before Srishti that a student of furniture design can actually produce his thesis project doing photography. That's how it was at Srishti. And I witnessed this in the very first year that I joined Srishti, and it was a shock to me as well. It was a big surprise and a very pleasant surprise that a furniture design student majoring in furniture design chooses to do a final year thesis project in photography, right? So that spirit of Srishti has what set it apart.
One observation, I don't know how fair or unfair it is that outsiders tend to make is that, look, when it comes to solving problems, original thinking, creating a way out, I will always choose a Srishti student.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to craft and things, I'm not so sure. I prefer NID or FTII and things like that. I don't know whether that's a valid observation or not. How do you react to that?
I mean, it was a very conscious decision when we planned the curriculum that we will not focus on building skills, because skills can be acquired anywhere at any time. But the ability to think, the ability to empathize, ability to go deeper into a problem, ability to understand the context, ability to ideate, these are the capabilities that we have always focused on developing. And in fact, in the past few years, as you know, we have responded to that comment by starting our BWOC programs, right? Where we are actually focusing on building skills. So I think we have all grounds covered in that sense.
Just building on what you just said, there's a lot of confusion between BDES, BWOC, and parents keep asking which is a better one for my student to take. What would your succinct advice be to people who are confused about these 2 courses? Which one should my ward, my son, my daughter take?
Obviously, if you want or wish for your child to be productive and gainfully employed from the day one after graduating, then go for BWalk program. Give them the necessary skills that the industry is expecting, the industry is demanding, and there they are out, exactly, doing what the industry wants them to do. But if your child is somebody who is an independent thinker, who has many different interests and skill sets and abilities, then they should consider BDES program, because then that's where, even if you declare your major from the day one, you can still explore other disciplines like animation, filmmaking, and of course visual communication design, textile, printmaking, whatever, right? So
you've been with Srishti for a really long time, and maybe my last question is a tough one, but one story, one incident, something that you feel makes it all worth it for you.
Why it is really worthwhile for me to stick around at Srishti is because of Geeta Narayan, and that's because of her ability to manage this large group of creative people. You and I, we both know that creative people are the hardest to manage, are the hardest to govern, or are the hardest to even get them to do what you want them to do, right? Because they are so independent in their thinking, they have their own ideologies, their own set of values. And to be able to do this, to be able to keep us all together and to motivate us to buy into the values of Srishti, I think she's done an amazing job.
Kumkum, thank you so much for joining us.